My name is Perrin Goulter, here for the Lawrence High School budget, and this is the first annual unofficial official Lawrence High School budget Halloween candy tier list review, brought to you by the Lawrence High School budget. So, up first, Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids. Now these are kind of a cult classic. I feel like they're a very classic like movie theater snack. They're known for being sour and sweet, and I think that's what they do best. We got a red one here. I feel like it's a pretty good example of what Sour Patch Kids bring to the table. And you know, they're solid. They really are. You can't argue with the little acidic punch that they bring in. They're chewy. Personally, I'm more of like a chewy candy guy than a chocolates. They're solid. That's all I can say. I'm feeling a solid A tier for our friends, the Sour Patch Kids. Okay, now this next one is a little bit more controversial. It's candy corn, a classic fall classic. We're finna just snack on these a little bit. We're gonna see. Now, controversial opinion, I love candy corn. I think candy corn is great. You can't go wrong with just a little soft bite, a little chew, you know, and it just kind of melts in your mouth. What more can you ask for? And they're fun colors. And you can like put them on your teeth, make you look like a vampire. But the place where candy corn falls short is you can't enjoy it year round. It's like Christmas music. It's really good, but only for a certain season, which makes me feel like it is almost a slap in the face to the rest of these candies if I put it anything above B tier. And as much as I would personally love to put it in A tier right up next to Sour Patch Kids, I can't bring myself to do it. So I think that candy corn falls very comfortably into C tier. Up next, this one's not controversial. This is just the classic. It's Twix. Twix is kind of the representation of what a good candy is during the Halloween season, especially when you're a kid. You know, you go out, you hunt all night for the best candies, and then when you get back and start to trade with your friends, the one thing you're looking for is a nice, caramely, crunchy Twix. You know what you're getting with a Twix, and what you're getting is good. The right Twix versus left Twix, I never really understood it. I guess it's kind of fun. I think it's causing division where there ought not be division, because everyone loves chocolate. Why would you divide the forces against that? And you know what, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. I think Twix, just for their division of the people, instead of uniting all under the power that is chocolate, I think it belongs in B tier. You know, personally, I feel like it's a little bit higher than that. But you know what? I can't bring myself to support a company that actively participates in the division of its peoples. But you know what doesn't? Actually, you know what does divide the people? M&Ms. The green M&M, in my personal opinion, the green M&M was the sole benefit to the M&M company. And she's gone. Let that sink in. They got rid of her, which is not only silencing the voices of women, it's also getting rid of the most important candy of all, eye candy. Beyond that, I do really like M&Ms. So, I mean, let's see if they stand up on their own. I believe they do. Like, just like candy corn, they're bite-sized, right? You take one, you eat it, you don't feel any different. The only thing that I would say is that the candy coating is a little bit overpowering. It does kind of make you feel like you need something to drink. And again, I feel like a good candy should be able to stand on its own. But, you know, I could go in for these for hours. Where I see them fitting best is right next to the divider of peoples, the Twix bar. Now, this next candy I've always considered to be sort of a dud. It's not anything crazy. It's Laffy Taffy. Now, there is one saving grace to the Laffy Taffy, and that is their classic, the joke on the back of the wrapper. And I feel like where I'm going to put this is solely dependent on how good this joke is. What has a neck, no head, and wears a cap? That's right, a bottle. So, you know, I feel like my assessment of Laffy Taffy's being a dud is pretty apt, considering those jokes. The one thing I absolutely despise about Laffy Taffy You can't open them. They're impossible to open. They stick to the wrapper, you end up chewing on plastic. No one wants to chew on plastic. I love banana Laffy Taffy. I think that banana Laffy Taffy on its own is probably an A-tier candy, but there's just so many other factors that play into the enjoyment of Laffy Taffy that make it almost impossible for me to put it above the midline on this list. Any Laffy Taffy supporters in the comments, in the web space, I think 1, you're weird. 2, I don't care. Laffy Taffy's a D. Speaking of D, up next is Dots. And now Dots are kind of a dark horse in this race. You know, not a lot of people know about Dots. I think that like they're on their radar, but they're not really like, they don't understand the nuance of Dots. And that's kind of what I'm here to bring attention to today. Dots are quite possibly the most practical and perfect movie theater snack. Now, there are some flaws to Dots that I'm willing to point out. Much like my issues with the Laffy Taffy, you can sit and chew on them for ages. They are very hard to eat, but I would argue that's a plus because that just means that you get more flavor in your mouth for longer, which I think is really reasonable. It's a fun flavor. It's a fun shape. Like, what's a gumdrop? I don't know. It's not gum. It's just kind of like a mound of good. And you know what? I support that. And I think that in the gummy category, it is very much a standalone and something that I think more people should try. I'm putting it in A tier, and I'm not ashamed. Something that I think people across the globe, or at least across America, enjoy is the Kit Kat. The Kit Kat is the Twix without the polarization. A Kit Kat breaks it down to the essentials. The chocolate and the wafer. There's no peanuts. There's no nougat. No one needs nougat. If someone tells you that you need nougat, tell them no, I don't. I need my wafer and I need my chocolate. And that's what the Kit Kat brings to the table. It's small, bite-sized. Let's dig in. And it's good. It's exactly what I expected. Hold on, I need a second. It's good, it's really good. Like almost borderline brings a tear to my eye. I feel like it could be sitting right up next to the Twix, but the place where the Twix falls short is it divides people. And what the Kit Kat does is it brings people together. If you get the Kit Kat in your little Halloween candy bag, you've won. You win freaking Halloween. Like there's nothing else to it. You could have the most atrocious costume. You could dress up like Sonic from Sonic and get a Kit Kat. You're still sitting in S tier, baby. That's our first S tier. Possibly our only S tier, so I hope you're on the edge of your seat, nipping at the bud on that one. Now, you know what is an awful candy? Right off the bat, I'm throwing out shade. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. A lot of people like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And by a lot of people, I mean sad people. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup takes all of the good of, say, a Snickers and entirely overwhelms you. Also, who do they think they are? With the little stupid wrapper around the bottom? Who needs this? It's not a cupcake. They didn't bake these. Why is it there? I can't stand people who say that Reese's are their favorite candy. My mother is one of them, and that's why we don't talk anymore. I'm still semi-sane. I understand that there is some appeal to the Reese's for some person out there, so I can't give it all the way to F, but I think it fits very comfortably with Laffy Taffy in D tier. Coming down to the final two here, we have a sneaky candidate, but we'll get to that later. We'll start with the Snickers. Much like the Reese's, it participates in a little bit of peanut, which to those with peanut allergies could be a problem, but I, luckily, am strong. I did go on a rant about nougat earlier, but I think I take it back. Snickers does pull off the nougat a little bit. You know, it's not bad. It's a Milky Way with a little bit more fun. The crunch, the versatility, all of these factors really bring me around on the Snickers. And I think it's hard to say that you don't like a Snickers, unless you have a peanut allergy, in which case I don't think you deserve to enjoy a Snickers. At only 250 calories per pack, as this little graphic says, it's a good bang for your buck. And I think Snickers fits comfortably on our little ranking at an A tier. Finally, to cap off the, what was it, the LHS budget unofficial official 2022-2023 Halloween candy tier list, we have the Swedish Fish. I love Swedish Fish. They're right up there next to the Dots, just a little bit more fun. My only qualm that I have with Swedish Fish is that they put them in this bag. Just put them in the box. I think that's just like the European engineering that's talking here. I don't care if you're from Sweden, Netherlands, the European Union in its entirety. Put it in the box. That's what the box is for. I would just buy the bag if I wanted the bag. The Swedish fish is one of the most rich flavors you can find in all of candy. It's versatile. I keep using that word. It's versatile. It can fit so many different niches. It's like chewy, but it's also kind of firm. It's sweet, but it's also kind of tangy. I think the only thing we can do now is dig in. What's not to love? It combines flavors in a way that no other candy can. You try to describe the flavor of a Swedish fish, you say cherry, not quite. Strawberry, maybe. I say it tastes like the heart of Sweden. And you know what letter Sweden starts with? It's S. And that's where I feel like Swedish fish fit perfectly. Now, is that a little bit of personal bias? Maybe. Do I care? No. I love Swedish fish, and you're not gonna take that away from me. And there you have it, folks. All of this candy has been a formative experience for me. This reflects how I used to feel back then, in the olden days. It's really a connection to my childhood, and I appreciate you coming here and experiencing it with me. If you have any qualms, any issues, any worries with my placements, feel free to let me know. Hit me in the hallway, give me a swirly, I don't care. This is how I feel, and these opinions are directly endorsed by the Lawrence High School budget. If you want to hear my opinions and thoughts on this matter in writing, be sure to be on the lookout for issue 2 of the Lawrence High School budget. And while you're at it, look for the first issue of the Lawrence High School budget, which should be appearing in your classrooms soon. I am Perrin Goulter, the editor-in-chief of the Lawrence High School budget, and this has been the Candy Tier List. Thank you.